Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this noble platform. May God will bless you for your continued support. And this platform is really growing at a commendable speed. And I'm really proud for your support. Kuna kitu ambacho sikuwahi taka kusema hapa, lakini kwa sababu ya msukumo from a few friends imenibidi tu niseme. Unajua kaka, kuna wakati mwingine nafikiria kwamba unachosha watu, but then I'm in need of a gimbal. Gimbal ni ile stand ya kamera unatembea nayo kwa mkono. You can walk with it while the camera is still stable. Wachana na hii ya kuwekelea chini. So a gimbal ni stand ya kamera unashika kwa mkono. You can run with it while shooting na kamera ikiwa stable. Nataka kuitumia kwa kazi yetu ya charity. Kumbuka nilisema kwamba this month tunaanza kazi ya charity work. So ile kazi ya charity ukitembea tembea kamera inafanya shaking. So kama kuna mtu mahali ameguzwa na anataka kunisupport na gimbal, a good gimbal is around 70 to 80,000. So if umeguzwa from your heart, you want to support me, then namba yangu ya simu ya M-Pesa ni 07 00 16 9444 07 00 16 9444. I really appreciate. Mtu anibariki na hiyo itafurahi sana. But then it was a by the way. You know, Kenya hoped for a fair, transparency and credible election after Moi retired in 2002. Moi amekuwa uongo. You know, Moi was the second president of Kenya after hayati mzee Jomo Kenyatta died, and Moi took over kwa sababu by then yeye ndiye alikuwa vice president. So sheria ilikuwa inamruhusu after the death of the president the vice takes over. So after Kenyatta died, Moi took over. And we remember Moi ruled for over 20 years. I think it was around 24 years or so. Na ikafika wakati, then some people who care for this nation felt it wise that we should introduce presidential term limits. Why? Because according to the propellers, where Raila Odinga was one of them, walifikiria kwamba by any chance, when we introduce term limits, one, it can help in ending corruption. It can help in ending abuse of office as the president. It can also increase development, because after 10 years or after 5 years, we are able to introduce another president with new ideas. So wakasema we need to cap the presidential term limit to 5 years, and if a president goes overboard, aende miaka 10 tu peke yake. So you cannot rule in Kenya beyond 10 years. Hiyo ndio sheria ya Kenya. You retire after ruling for 10 years. So but the election is held after every 5 years. If you win for a first term and win for a second term, the maximum you can rule is only 10 years. Now, when Kibaki took over power, you know, the presidential term limit was introduced in 1992. But then by then, Moi was not willing to vacate power until 2002, when in meetings, I don't know whether there was pressure, he willingly announced that he's going to retire. And Kibaki took over. When Kibaki took over, this is the time that Kenyans thought that Kenya will start experience after Moi left, after serving for like 24 years. So Kenyans thought that now Moi is gone. Now that Moi Kibaki could retire after 10 years or after 5 years, they said, now this is the time that Kenya maybe will experience fairness and a credible election. So ikafika 2010, the same was upheld in the new constitution. The presidential term limit ikaendelea in the 2010 constitution. But before then, we remember Mwai Kibaki took over 2002 because kura zilipiwa, I think ni kwa January or what? No, December. Yeah. Then Kibaki took over. Then from there, Kibaki ruled up to 2007. Kura zikafanywa, tena akachukua uongozi. We remember what happened in 2007. By then jamaa alikuwa amesimamia uchaguzi, alikuwa anaitwa Kivuitu. Na unakumbuka what he did? Alikimbia kwenda kutangazia matokeo sijui ni kwa nyumba gani. And few days after the general election, Kivuitu came into public and said, hawezi sema kwamba okay, let me quote what he said because I wrote it here. Okay, let me paraphrase before I quote. He was not sure if Kibaki had won the 2007 general election. But then, he was under pressure from politicians, the European Union ambassadors, so that's Americans. Aliwekewa pressure mingi kutangaza Kibaki kama president. So he announced. Thereafter, you know what followed. And this is what Kivuitu said. I am not sure whether Kibaki won the election. I was only under pressure, under fierce pressure from politicians and the European Union ambassadors to announce the results. So, akatangaza and Kibaki took over, ikapigana. You remember the chaos and the violence. Raila Odinga was appointed prime minister for nusu mkate government. Kutoka hapo, in 2013, under the new constitution now, the 2010 constitution, which did a number of changes, which introduced the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, which introduced from the Electoral Boundaries Commission to IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And hakuwa anaitwa Isaac Hassan, something like that. Now, they came. 2013, Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, they took over power. Ikafika, they ruled up to 20, was it? Let me see. Yeah? 2013, and then to, 2013 to 2017, right? Wakachukua uongozi. Then, in 2017, we remember that Raila Odinga protested the results. By then we had the CJ Maraga. Raila akaenda kotini. Kesi, I have a few references here. So, Raila akaenda kotini na Maraga nullify the election in 2017. Tukaenda tena uchaguzi wa pili. But then, Raila Odinga protested. Akasema, the chairman by then must go. Akatoka, and then akaingia jamaa inaitwa Jebukati in 2017. So Raila alisema no, kama ni Hassan hakuna uchaguzi, Hassan must go. Kama mnakumbuka Raila Odinga na wafuasi wake wakaanza protest against the IEBC under Hassan. Wakafanya maandamano every Monday. Ilikuwa inaitwa the tear gas Monday or the Monday tear gas. Protest, pressure. So Isaac Hassan wakatoka, Chebukati akaingia. Chebukati alipoingia, kulikuwa na uchaguzi now from 2017 tulikuwa na uchaguzi wa 2022. na Wakenya wakafikiria the elections will be fair, so haikuenda vile watu walikuwa wanafikiria. So now because of this, Raila Odinga has done several amendments in this country. Amefanya hata counties zenye tuko nazo, mtu mwenye alileta ni Raila Odinga, is brought so much development. Hata hii mabadiliko mnaona kwa katiba, huyo ni Raila Odinga. Wao ndio walipigana na multi-party democracy, walipigana na one party rule, wakaleta multi-party democracy. Moi succumbed to pressure from Raila Odinga and other people and from the international bodies. So he succumbed, he allowed the multi-party democracy to reign. Now, Raila Odinga has sent a shaking message to the Kenya Kwanza government. We know Baba, this week, Raila Odinga was in Abuja, Nigeria. Na Baba amezungumza mambo ambayo nataka nikujuze leo. And Raila Odinga is a man of changes. He doesn't believe in one thing. I can call him a man of revolutions. He's a man who thinks about governance. He's a man who can change how a nation thinks. He's a man who can bring what we call a national change. Tunakumbuka the 2010 constitution is courtesy of Raila Odinga and so many other developments and so many other changes in this country. Mnakumbuka akileta majimbo ni counties. Sasa Baba amesema hii tabia ya the election management system kukuwa centralized nationally in Nairobi must end. So Raila is saying if it was possible in Kenya, hii mambo ibadilishwe, the electoral management system iache kuwa centralized in Nairobi, ikwe decentralized regionally. Sijui kama hiki kizungu kinaeleweka vizuri. You know right now, uchaguzi wa president unatangaziwa Nairobi. Matokeo yote from the constituencies inatumwa Nairobi. Hapo ndio unasikia kuna Kamago, hapo ndio unasikia sijui kuna nini, hapo ndio unasikia kuna Sava, hapo ndio unasikia kuna KMKit, hapo ndio unasikia kuna serial number, hapo ndio unasikia form 34A, form 34B, form 34C and so many other things. So Raila wants the electoral management system itolewe national, ikwe decentralized into county level like the US based system. Sijui kama umenipata. With this, Raila believes that one, the country will adopt or increase credibility in elections. The country will increase accountability in elections. And Kenya will adopt transparency if only the current electoral management system is changed and decentralized from, I think Baba means we adopt, wanaita hii ya US wanaita collect votes, inaitwa sijui ninasikia jina ni ngumu, sijui collect votes, something like that. So itolewa national, itolewa Bomas, itolewa Nairobi, itolewe KICC, popote mahali itolewe pale, iletwe at county level. Meaning, like in the US, na huyu Baba anafikirianga kweli. Baba really thinks outside the box. Now, Raila also says, in the new recommendations, you know, Raila was speaking to heads of state in Abuja, Nigeria. Baba alikuwa anazungumzia viongozi wa mataifa. You know, Raila is a respected man. Raila ni mtu ameheshimika Afrika yote na nje ya Afrika. So he was invited as a special guest to go and speak to leaders about governance. A leader of change. A leader of revolutions. Now, akasema, in the new proposal, Raila Odinga proposes that political parties be allowed to second their members into the electoral agencies. Kama ni Jubilee inatuma members wao, kama ni wawili watatu as per the recommend. Kama ni ODM inatuma watu wake. And Raila believes by doing this, Kenya will have a credible, transparent, fair election. Kwa sababu hii tabia ya kuwa na mtu mmoja ana govern election kama chairman, he might be compromised, and many have been compromised. Nimepeana historia ya Kivuitu. He even admitted few days after the election, after announcing Mwai Kibaki, Kivuitu confessed and said he was not sure if Kibaki won. And he made the announcement because of the pressure from politicians and the European Union ambassadors. That's why he decided to announce Kibaki as the president. Look at 2013, look at 2017, look at 2022. Chebukati is eating with presidential candidates. Chebukati sits with presidential candidates. Chebukati's relatives are being nominated into powerful position shamelessly. Chebukati is publicly telling Kenyans how he was compromised. Allegations have been made. I don't want to justify. There's no made allegations that in one way or another, from the behavior we have seen, Chebukati might have been compromised to announce William Ruto as the president in the last general election, that is 2022. So in this, if Raila wins with this proposal, we are waiting to see akitoka Abuja, Nigeria, na akirudi in active rallies, we know is going to begin processes of injecting this proposal into parliament. And remember, for you to change the constitution, you must subject it into a referendum. And the people organizing the referendum is the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Chebukati is also retiring to go home. So let's wait and see how the whole thing will unfold. But we are here to support Baba. If he says turn right, we turn right. If he says turn left, turn left. Akisema ni referendum, tuko pale mara moja. And we fully support him in executing this proposal. So tunamungoja Baba aje Kenya atueleze the way forward. After he spoke this in Nigeria, we're waiting to see the way forward when he comes. And I know Baba's won so many battles, especially ya kuibiwa tu. And we know Ruto will really face it. God bless you. Asanteni sana.